Many of you may not know the person we're going to talk about next simply because they're an artist that resides in Brazil. And the kind of music that happens there you may not hear about over here. But what has transpired in Brazil is going rampant over here. And the person we're talking about is a artist by the name of Jotta A. Now, they started off as a little kid, male, singing Christian gospel songs, okay? And apparently the powers that be got a hold of this little kid. And the transformation from this child to what he is now, it is heartbreaking at the least and devastating at the height of it.
Onde eu tô morando. E aí foi a primeira vez que eu coloquei uma peruca na cabeça, coloquei a roupa que eu queria e fui para as ruas porque eu sabia que uma mulher estava na televisão representando.
If you watch this timeline, you see them slowly progress, and if you watch the eyes, you'll see the confusion. And once the confusion leaves, you see a whole nother entity take over. They went from male to what they consider a female, Christian, and then their final song that they did just this year will explain a whole lot more about what exactly transpires when you give yourself over to this particular lifestyle. Jotta started off young, beautiful little voice, smiling, happy looking kid, didn't think anything that would ever go wrong in their life. And as the years went on, you saw this gradual switch started to happen. Around their mid-teens, you started them seeing gravitate towards a little bit of a tighter fit clothes, lip gloss, and in some cases, even eyeliner and eye shade. And then the whole mannerism changed from not just a manly boy one to a quite effeminate movement. Their body shape changed altogether, whether that be hormonal on purpose or hormonal by drugs, we don't know, but the transformation was pretty distinct. Then around 2021, 2022, they went from a actual male to long hair, wig, nails, and complete effeminate movement. And then eventually a switch over to a fake female. Now they did a song recently called Eden. Now remember we said that they started off in the Christian genre. Now here is exactly how the world works, okay? They will tell you a whole lot of things that seem good, but at the end of it, it will be absolute destruction to your soul. They know this because we all know who their daddy is. This kid started off in that arena and then was confused about all kinds of things because let's be honest, once you're in the music industry, you see a whole lot of things that will confuse you as to whether or not, especially as a child, and if you don't have strong parents, you will be led astray, which seemed to happen. He was confused and then he was told, well, maybe you were just born in the wrong situation. We can adjust that. And he allowed it. Now in the Eden song, you can see him imaging himself as though he was a little girl who grew up to be an older woman. And the thing that struck us though was that in one scene, he had a serpent around his upper body. Now, if you're not familiar with that whole imagery, I think you should probably do some investigatory work about it because we're not going to go into too much detail about the Garden of Eden and the serpent and all that. But we understand that as someone that grew up there, we have no doubt that this was a jab back at his history. I have no doubt that this was a zing to the people that grew up with him while he was doing so-called Christian music, which also proves to you that just because you sing Christian music and act like a Christian does not mean one, you are one, or two, that anything is taking root. Because you can fall prey and victim to just about anything as long as you want it. Now, could he have been a victim of grooming? No doubt. No doubt he could have been. But you know what? You can't groom something that may not be in there. Now, we all know that children are easily persuadable. We get that. He was at the age, though, that the confusion can easily set in for both male and female. And with one wrong word, the flip can happen to the negative like that. That's probably exactly what happened with Jotta. You see, the people that really want to push this whole trans agenda have become quite proficient at it. They know exactly how to talk to you, know exactly what to say, know how to manipulate the pain you're going through, whatever confusion, however it got there, they can milk that confusion to the point where they make you believe that the confusion is your identity. They did just that. This guy is now dressed up in long wigs, two-piece, one-piece bikini outfits, nothing else, and now dancing with a serpent. You see, you will come full circle to the things that you grew up with, knowing it's right, but confusion and no guidance will lead you to absolutely spit in the face of the good. That's exactly what he's done. Is there any hope for him? Man. Once they get a certain distance into this game, it's almost impossible to drag them back because the allure of fame and money is really strong, especially when you've abandoned all semblance of a sane mind. I don't know if he'll come back. We were hopeful for a lot of people. So far, not single one of them have turned their life around. One can only hope and pray that he will come around, because what he was doing when he was younger was a good thing. Albeit confused, it still was a good thing. But there will always be those that will milk your trauma and your pain for their benefit at the cost of your soul. Let Jotta be a reminder to you, though, that if you are ever confused about something, do not place yourself into more confusion to try and find a solution, because the end result of your life may be way worse than where you might think you could end up. And if you're not very careful, that could lead to your end.